So this is our starting point that we're going to turn into a bit of a Bootstrap page. It's styled with some just straightforward HTML and CSS. So the first thing we need to do is link to the Bootstrap libraries. So good place to look there is if you go to the Bootstrap site and you go to the docs, quick start. This shows you how to set up a Bootstrap file, and we only actually need two lines. This one, which is the one that loads the actual CSS. So let's go and drop that in right up here. And good place to put it is right before your own style sheet, because you're going to want your own custom style sheet. And I doubt we're going to be using it in this case, but for completeness sake, we'll also grab the JavaScript that is needed. So these are all hosted on content delivery networks elsewhere. So that would normally go at the end of the page right down there. Okay, so if I save that, we will see some minor changes to my cat page. Just some extra Bootstrap default Bootstrap formatting. We're going to turn this into a two-column layout using the Bootstrap classes which are available to us. So the way the Bootstrap grid system works is we have 12 columns available to us, which we can split up any way we want. And what I'm going to do is this 6, 6. 6 columns are going to go to the left-hand column and 6 columns are going to go to the right-hand column. So diving into here, firstly I need to put everything inside a container. So div class equals, and it's a container, and we'll have a quick look at what that looks like in a second. So the /div, the whole page is going into this div class equals container. So I'm going to go right down to the bottom, right to the very, very end, and there's my /div. And what I will do, I'm going to keep it tidy as I go. I'm going to do the indenting, so that content inside that div, tab. Now I've got a container. I'm going to have these two columns. They need to go into a row. So let's do that. Div class equals row. And this /div is, again, the whole page is going in the one row. We will have multiple rows eventually in our solutions, but for now we're just going to have everything in one row, tabbed in again. So now let's do the columns. Div class equals, and I'm just going to go with col for the moment, and that first column is going to go around, let's go to maybe here. Yeah. And that's where the /div is going to go. So we're just going to indent all of that, keeping life tidy. And then a next column. And just to save myself a little bit of time, I'm going to copy and paste. Control C and Control V, and take this /div down the bottom. Let's just tab all of that lot in, and Control V, and that one I've got to tab in, just keeping things as neat as I can. So I have a single row. So I've got a container that contains a single row, and this row contains this column and this column. Let's save that and have a quick look at it. So there it is, two-column layout, just like that. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to specify, because if you don't specify how many columns it's using, it just kind of splits it as evenly as it can. But I'm actually going to tell it to split it into 6. In fact, let's just, for the sake of argument, let's make it 4 and 8. So this column here will be 4 of the Bootstrap columns. This one will be 8, so it'll be twice as wide. So we'll save that. And we'll also look at what this MD means. So if I refresh my page, that's the 4, that's the 8. And the MD is the breakpoint at which it changes from the two-column layout into being a single kind of phone layout stacked vertically down the page. So that's breaking at that point there. And if I was to change it to XL, in fact, let's just do that because it only take a second. So this one, XL, this one, XL, save that, refresh this page, and the breakpoint has now moved to there. That's where we're flicking from single column to multi-column. So that's a nice responsive layout. All good.